I have been seeing so much discourse online about women hating motherhood, all these women choosing to be child-free, live their best life, and I want to talk about it. The first clip that I want to watch is a clip of a woman who has dedicated and created a whole channel with reasons. All it is just reasons about why she doesn't want to have children. The girl with the list. Let's check this video out where she shares some petty reasons of why she does not want kids.
Hi, I'm the girl with the list. A lot of my reasons not to have kids have been very serious lately, but I have a bunch of stupid ones as well. I was a soccer player as a kid, and so was my younger sister, and one of the things that I distinctly remember about playing soccer was the smell of the shin guards when we would come home from a game and they'd be all sweaty. The way that my mom would actually have to peel them off our sweaty skin and then throw them, like, it actually makes me want to gag. They leave those sticky white handprints everywhere after you've just cleaned your windows. Not that I wash my windows. Let's be real about that. I don't wash my windows. I don't have to, because nobody's leaving handprints on them. I don't need any Disney soundtracks in my
Not
Spotify
handprints.
Wrapped. I don't need Cocomelon on my YouTube history. I did, however, check out Miss Rachel on my own accord, and she is the bomb. We'll never plan, host, or attend a child's birthday party. I know nothing about that, and I don't need to. I live to piss off men, and nothing pisses them off more than this. Genuinely, I've tried. This is the thing that pisses them off the most. I'm sitting in my second bedroom right now, not a nursery. A lot of baby clothing is like weirdly sexist. You can't escape the gender roles. It's strange and it pisses me off, but it's not my problem. There's like a whole moral debate that I sometimes observe of like when to stop breastfeeding your baby. Everyone has an opinion on it. I don't know when the right time to stop breastfeeding a baby is. Never gonna have to wean somebody off. I'm a squeamish person. I don't want to be pulling anyone's baby teeth out. I don't need to watch them wiggling it. I need to tie their tooth to a doorknob and slam.
Okay, so we get it. She doesn't want children. I think we got it on Reason 2000. And I just want to clarify, because I feel like this is disclaimer culture. We have no choice but to share disclaimers now. It kind of sucks, but I'm going to do it. I am not saying that there is anything wrong with not wanting children, but I do believe that this child-free movement, like when I didn't have children, I wasn't going around saying I was child-free. I always thought that was the weirdest thing to me. I'm like, you just don't have children. And I guess they were trying to change it from childless or whatever, but it's like you just don't have children. Like, it's okay, you know? And if you don't want to have children, that's fine. Not everybody can do this. Not everybody wants to do this. I totally understand that. And honestly, it is a huge calling, and it does require a lot of sacrifice. And if it's not something you're up for, then don't do it. But the fact that I have seen so much discourse against motherhood to the point where I'm like, I believe that these videos are making other women not want to be mothers. It's making other women who might have considered being mothers now decide they're like on the fence, or they're like absolutely not. Because when you only see the negative being posted, if you see someone talking about how their baby like pooped all over their bed, or they had to clean it up with their bare hand, whatever, crazy stories, you're not going to want to do it. We live in this society where if something is hard, woe is me, don't want to do it. But I became a mom almost 2 years ago, and it has been one of the best things I have ever experienced. It is hard, but it is rewarding. I feel like before, when I didn't have kids, I don't think I could explain this. Like, I would hear people talk about motherhood. I would hear people talk about parenting, but I don't think I like actually understood what it meant. I don't think you're going to understand, I'm gonna be honest, until you have a baby, until you have a child of your own, or you are raising a child. Like, you just don't know. You will not understand or get the rewarding, like what it means to be a parent as a Christian and a mom. I truly feel called to this, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity. But I do believe there is a war. There is a war on motherhood. And I say this because there's nothing but discourse online about people hating being a mom. I'm not saying there's no positive content, but I see more so content of people talking about why they don't want to be a mother, why they hate being a mom, and all of that. And I am very aware that motherhood can be very difficult, and especially if you are a single mom, especially if you don't have support. Of course, it can be hard, but I just have to fight back because motherhood, oh my gosh, it is making me holy. It is changing me from the inside out in a good way. The next clip I want to talk about is exactly how Satan feels about family. Let's take a look.
Satan hates family. So if you're going to try and do family God's way, you will experience a lot of spiritual warfare. God has a family in heaven of angels, and Satan attacks and divides that family. Satan then comes down to the earth, and he doesn't even attack Adam and Eve until after they're married. I always say after the wedding comes the war. He could have attacked Adam as a single man. He waited for him to get married because he hates family. And then they have two sons, Cain and Abel. What does Cain do? He murders his brother. We're only 4 pages into the Bible, and we've got a murder in a family among two brothers. Because God loves family, Satan hates family. God makes family, Satan breaks family.
I feel this heavy. Satan hates family, and so he is just on the hunt to break down families. As you can see just in society, what's happening with the nuclear family, there are less nuclear families, right? And there are a lot of people promoting not having children, being child-free. This woman devoted an entire channel to making nothing but videos on list of reasons why she doesn't want children. Why not just not have kids? Why not just be and do what you want instead of making a whole channel and a million videos, a whole series on this? I think that's crazy. I wanted children, right? And even I didn't go on the internet and make a million videos of why, which I probably should, because we need to see more of that, right? We need to see more of that. And I wanted to talk about this because it has been making me upset, because I think that young women are being sold a lie that motherhood is nothing but struggle and pain and the worst thing in life that could happen to you, that your body's gonna be terrible, that you will never be able to travel. You can travel with children. You can travel without your kids. You can do different things. And yes, it may look different. And yes, you might not be able to do certain things at certain points in your life, but that's seasons and it changes. And the cost is so worth it, because then you have these children who are so, like, I don't know how to explain it. They give you hope, right? Like, you're building up, especially if you're a Christian, like, you're building up these disciples of Christ who show so much love. They show so much love. They teach you patience. They teach you how to be more kind, even to yourself. They teach you empathy. It's like nothing worth having doesn't come with some sort of struggle. And so, I have had days where I was touched out. I was like, I don't know if I could do this. I haven't had any sleep, especially in the beginning when I was breastfeeding. And my son was very colicky and did not want to be put down for literally over a year. Okay. And, I had days where I thought about, I'm losing my freedom. But never once did I think that I would wish I could go back. I would never want to go back. I don't want to go back to a life without my son now that I know and now that I have him in it. A life without him would truly be, just now that I know who he is, difficult, truly. And, I don't feel like I lost my freedom anymore. You feel that in the beginning because it's very rough. But for me personally, I don't feel like I lost my freedom. I feel like I have found a whole new identity. It's when we try to hold on to our past identity that we start to feel like we are completely losing it. But when we come to the reality that something new is coming in us, it's much easier to digest. And also it's like, oh, who is this new person? I like this new person, and you get to know that person. And so, like, I wanted to talk about this because I have experienced some of the deepest joy, love, and purpose that I have ever known through my son and through my bonus children. And I truly feel enhanced by my son. And I need other women to see that that is not the only side of the story. Yes, it can be rough. Yes, kids can have tantrums and blah, blah, blah. But there's so much more to it. I mean, if my mom chose not to have children and be child free, I wouldn't be here. I would not exist. Right now, it's just a loud cultural war against motherhood. I feel like the child free movement is becoming very normalized on social media. People are glorifying travel, money, freedom, self-love, and peace, right? And they're painting motherhood as pure misery that ruins your body, ruins your mental health, ruins your life. And that is not the full picture. I refuse to let that be the only narrative that is out there, because our perspectives matter. I think making a whole channel devoted to why you don't want children, it comes off selfish. And I feel like it goes against God's design for us not only to be fruitful, but also sacrificial and focused on others instead of ourselves. Like, I feel like living a life where you only focus on yourself, it's like, oh, I'm just so free. And it's like, man, that kind of life, I feel like, can keep you far from God. I'm not saying that's always the case, but it can. I want to talk about what the Bible says about motherhood today. So in Psalms 127:3, it says, children are a gift from the Lord. They are a reward from him. God calls children a gift, a reward. I don't know why everybody is making it seem like kids are terrors and they're just, I feel like my son is a gift. Even on the days where he is having tantrums, it's been rough. I had no sleep. Oh, but then I remember those little hugs, the little hands, and the little boy who's not even 2 that comes up to me and just says, I love you. And I said, oh my God, I love you too. And it's all worth it. In John 16:21, it says, when a woman is in labor, she has pain because her time has come. But when she has given birth to a child, she no longer remembers the pain because of the joy that a child has been born into the world. Oh my gosh, my labor, it was painful. It was. I feel like a pretty easier birth compared to other people, but it definitely was painful. But like once he came into the world, I didn't even care about that. It was like, wow. And that's what I'm saying. It was a temporary pain, but for this long lasting, this relationship that I'm now having with my son and I'm going to have throughout my lifetime and, through his life. Wow. Like it's amazing. The pain is real, but the joy is greater. I know that not everyone gets the opportunity to have their own children, even though they want them. And so I'm not talking about that. That's a whole nother thing. And I know that has to be something that is so deeply painful. So that's completely different. If you're contemplating becoming a mom, or if you're on the fence, or if you want to be a mom, or you feel like you're scared, you don't know, I'm telling you right now, it is definitely hard. I am not going to lie to you. That is not my goal, but it is one of the most beautiful and holy gifts that God could give. Do not let social media, the girl with the list, culture, or the child-free movement steal your joy. Lean on Jesus every single day. Motherhood is kingdom work, and we need mothers.